DQP Does the MCU. This is episode 23 for MCU. Not actually episode 23. I don't know, whatever.
Sorry, not sorry.
Yep. For Spider-Man Far From Home, this is going to be our first impressions from our theatrical viewing. I don't think we really need to get too much into the cast.
Just of the podcast.
Yeah. So it's not the usual three today. Nathan couldn't be here, so we've got Cassie. Say
Hi.
hello. Okay, there you go.
Hi.
And I'm Russell.
Yep. Okay. And then me, Shane. The cast in this movie, most of it's returning. The big addition being what's his name?
Jake Gyllenhaal.
Yeah, Jake Gyllenhaal.
I think isn't it Gyllenhaal?
Gyllenhaal.
God damn it, Russell.
Hey, I'm not the pronouncer of things.
Jake Gyllenhaal as Beck. Quentin Beck. Yeah. Returning cast: Tom Holland, Samuel L. Jackson, Marissa Tomei. Jon Favreau played a large part in this movie.
Yeah.
Zendaya is MJ. Jacob Batalon is Ned. Tony Rivolori, I think, is Flash. Andrew Rice plays Betty. She was in it a lot more than the last one. She was in the last one, but
Yeah.
this one she was much more prominent. We had a new Remy Hii? Hii. I don't know. Send us a video, bud. Playing Brad Davis. Martin Starr returning as Mr. Harrington. We had the addition of J.B. Smoove as Mr. Dell, which I hated.
Oop.
I don't mind him. The character was terrible.
Yeah.
And it had no...
He was super annoying.
Yeah, it had no point in the movie, I don't think.
Like, he wasn't funny. He was
Mr.
kind of a really terrible role model for the
Mr.
kids.
Dell.
Is he the other
Yeah, the other chaperone.
chaperone? Okay.
Yeah.
That
He was awful.
takes Ambien and such.
Yeah.
I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I
So
don't
he
know
was
what the
weird.
fuck.
I
Yeah.
think he was literally just there to say
Europe.
the line about the witchcraft.
Yeah.
And there's witches and blah blah blah.
Yeah,
Like,
which was pointless anyway.
here's-
So,
yeah.
and he said
like
it
you-
twice.
Yeah.
So I feel like one of those scenes should have been cut or changed.
Yeah.
But okay.
I did like Martin Starr. Is that his name?
Yeah.
The larger role that he had in this.
Right.
I thought that was well deserved. Especially from the last Spider-Man movie. I enjoyed the 1-2 scenes he's in. And
Yeah.
he was pretty prominent in this one.
He was
So I
around a
enjoyed
lot
that.
more. Kobe Smulders is Maria Hill. She played a large part in this.
Yeah, I mean,
A larger part than
Yeah.
I mean, like, she was in it not as much as Avengers 1.
I
but
feel
more
like
than some of the
since
other
Avengers 1, she's just like a familiar face in the background.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're not like utilizing that character very well.
No, I think she should be more like she was in the comics. Just be like a hard bitch that ends up taking over for Nick when she thinks he's doing a bad job.
I mean,
Yeah.
I feel
Oh.
like even in this, she like moved and acted more than she had lines still. Like, she did have
She
more
was
lines,
yeah.
but she still didn't have, like, even Samuel L. Jackson had more.
Yeah, but I mean it's Sam. So.
Yeah.
her
But she
and
was always just next to him, like in the car, and she
Right.
might have one little line in the car, and then
yeah, and
I got you.
throughout the film, her and Sam Jackson like just didn't really feel like the same characters,
Huh. Weird.
and like I thought that was kind of odd.
Yeah, which there was one character returning from not a Spider-Man movie. But I don't even know. I don't see him. Where's he at? What's his name, Russell?
One character return. Oh, Talos.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No, what's the actor's name, jackass?
that plays Talos.
Yeah.
Fuck, I can't remember his name.
Because I don't actually see him listed here, probably because it's a spoiler.
I love his voice.
I'll get it from Captain Marvel. Fuck it.
Ben Grindelhall, or that's not even close to his name.
What?
Writing that down.
Ben Mendelsohn. There we go.
Oh, his name is Ben.
Yeah.
I don't
It's
even
not
know what
Grindelwald,
you
though.
said. Grindelwald. That sounds like it should be on Harry Potter.
Yeah.
Mr. Grindelwald.
But anyway, yeah, I don't know. They felt weird the whole movie, and then there was a payoff in the stinger that wasn't much of a payoff, or was it?
It was a big old middle finger, but we'll get to that.
Yeah. So as far as the cast goes, how did you feel about Jake Gyllenhaal as Beck? Go ahead, Cassie.
Oh my God. I hate him.
You don't like him in general, or you didn't like him in this movie?
I don't know, because like he's good in rom-coms, but like in this he's just like, can I say he's supposed to be a villain?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Look,
so,
those spoilers.
so first of all,
We spoil the shit out
Russell
of these.
did spoil the shit out of it.
It was an accident.
And let me
You bastard.
backtrack. So I hate him. He's a big old cheese ball.
Uh-huh.
Like he's got to be he's trying to be a villain. And like I even liked him as a nice guy. I was like, all right, this is working.
Yeah.
Whatever. I was rooting for him.
Yeah.
You know, I wasn't as shocked. I'm like, there's a twist, mostly because Russell ruined it.
Mhm.
And when it happened, I was just like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
But then like he was such a bad villain. Like I hate him.
Yeah.
And
so,
also like Taylor Swift. So I have to kind of hate him a little.
there was
anyway.
some friction there.
He's an ex-boyfriend.
Yeah.
Oh my God. All
So
right.
we're sitting there and we're watching the movie, and I'm like getting more pissed off the longer it takes for the turn to happen. And like there was a point where I thought the turn should have happened, and then it didn't happen, and I like audibly like growled or something, and she was like, what's wrong? And then
I was like, is he gonna be a good guy? And you're like, well, in the comics he turns evil.
you asked if he's
or he's
an
a
actual
villain.
comic book character.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, he's a Spider-Man villain. Well, he's a character.
Yeah.
Because I was like, they're
villain.
doing this, and fuck them for doing it.
Yeah.
But,
And he goes,
okay.
He goes, but I don't know what they're doing with this movie, and like tried to save it.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay.
Okay.
Because I knew he was gonna be a bad villain. I was
Right.
just like, ugh.
Yeah.
As soon as I saw that he was cast, and then the trailer when he's like, stay out of this, or this is none of your business, I was like, oh fuck.
I
Like,
do
I hated
agree
it.
with you, though. I enjoyed him while he was being the good guy, quote unquote.
Yeah.
And then the turn happens, and he was just completely like, he was ridiculous. And
wacko.
I felt like that was perfect on what you could have done with the character, but like he didn't pull off the second half of the movie as an actor. I don't think like he wasn't as believable as the villain, which is weird because like it should have been the other way around.
Mm-hmm.
Like why is he such a cheeseball hero?
Yeah.
And then he turns, and you're like, oh, that's why. But it was like
The other way, you were more believable, or it was more believable that he was a hero than a villain.
yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I didn't hate him. And I liked the idea because it's a total Mysterio thing, especially when nobody knows who he is.
Mm-hmm.
However, Nick Fury should have figured it out very easily who Quentin Beck was by just like looking him up.
Yeah.
Because like I don't even think he used a fake name.
Right.
And like,
Stark
yeah,
surely
okay,
had records.
sure, he was supposedly from another universe, but you got to find an analog in our universe to check it against, right?
Yeah. Right.
He didn't even background check him.
Yeah, it didn't even background check him, so that was kind of weird to me. I liked the turn, and I didn't mind him as the bad guy. It was a little weak as far as villains, like how we've kind of dissected the other villains.
Right.
But, not everybody can be Green Goblin. Not everybody can be Loki.
Right.
You know, so there's gonna be villains that we have like that where they kind of fall flat as far as like when we compare them to those milestones. You know.
Yeah.
And I like that they did a different villain than we've always seen. Like I can't do another Green Goblin, you know?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I really like that they did that, but Jake Gyllenhaal ain't it, sis.
I was
Ain't
super
it?
happy. I was super happy that we were getting Mysterio.
Yeah.
I'm not happy what they did with Mysterio.
I thought it was fine.
My big issue is like the first 40 minutes of the
Yeah.
movie is they're like leading you to believe he's a good guy.
Right.
And like, I mean, I get it. You
Everyone
have to
that
appeal
reads
to a wider
comics
audience.
knows that he's not.
Yeah. So the first
Right.
40 minutes of the movie just felt like a waste of time to me.
It didn't. It felt almost like a horror movie to me. Not in like that it was scary or anything, or that there was tension being built. It was more like, you know, the stereotype of people that go to watch horror movies in the
Mhm.
theater, where they're like, "Don't go upstairs," or "He's
Yeah.
right behind you," shit like that.
Right.
That's how I felt during the movie because I was like, "He's a fucking bad guy. You guys need to figure it out. What is don't give him the fucking glasses. What are you doing? Oh no, don't. Aw, boo." And then the turn happens and I was like, "Okay, so now they're going to figure it out and kick his ass."
Yeah.
So like I didn't have a problem with it cuz like that was the kind of feeling that it invoked in me, not it was a waste of time. Like
Yeah.
I get that.
Yeah.
I get that opinion, and it was also like a very obvious turn to people that are comic book fans or
Right.
have even like watched the cartoons or anything like that.
Mhm.
But I still think it had merit as far as a story to be told.
Yeah. I feel like there's a lot more they could have done with that character because
Yeah.
like Mysterio is a great character and he only has 2 scenes. Dude, the Mysterio episodes of the Amazing Spider-Man from the 90s cartoon. Oh my god.
Yeah, they were good episodes, but like, and there's something. I don't think the character's that great for one. Period in like the comics or in the cartoons
Right.
or anything like that. So I don't have like an affinity towards it to where I'm offended that it was like this, right?
Yeah.
But then there's also the thing where you have to think in comics and in other media that are based on comics, this happens all the time where a villain turns good, supposedly.
Right.
And he is either to the heroes or to the public appears to be a hero, and they play it up to get a certain thing.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
And then turn on the hero, either trying to make the hero look bad, as it ends up happening at the end in this movie, or to just get a MacGuffin, right?
Right.
Just trying to get close to something by being the good guy because that was the easiest way to get there.
Yeah.
Especially if they're working with the guys that they're supposedly putting down.
Right. And I guess the other issue I have with what they did with the Mysterio that we have now in the MCU is that they made him another fallout of Tony.
Yeah.
Which I know Tony's gone, and I know he's still going to play a big part in the things he did and the glasses, and I enjoy the little stuff.
Yeah.
But, like, you literally just did the same thing for this villain that you've been doing for these villains for the past however movies.
Yeah,
Right.
they're all Tony's fault.
Yeah, or a fallout of the Avengers, like one way or the other.
That was my biggest complaint about this movie, is that it's not about Spider-Man.
Yeah.
It's about Tony.
Yeah.
It's still about Tony, and
Right.
Tony's fucking dead.
I
It's
was
still
super
about
It's
Tony.
not an
pissed.
Iron Man movie. It's not an Avengers movie. It's a Spider-Man movie, and it's still about Tony.
I was super pissed because I was like my least favorite thing about the movie is that Nick Fury,
In air quotes, yeah.
yeah, like kept using
Well,
Tony.
call him Nicholas.
Nicholas.
Call
look at
him
that.
Nicholas because his friends call him Fury. So if you call him Nicholas, it's either you're not his friend or it's not Fury.
Okay, Nicholas. So he kept like using Tony to manipulate Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And I was like, dude, that's so shitty.
Yeah,
like
it's a
he's
prick thing to
taking
do.
his pain. Oh, I was so mad like every time, and he did it like 3 or 4 times.
Yeah.
And he's
And-
like, he's right. You're not worthy. Or he
Right.
was wrong. You're not worthy. And I'm like, that is so hurtful. And he'd be crying.
Yeah.
And I'm like, how could you?
Yeah. Well, because
Yeah.
it wasn't Fury.
I know. But
Um,
like during the movie, I was like,
Well, the whole time I thought he was acting weird. As Russell said, they were acting like they were different characters in air quotes.
Yeah, and I assumed, like, they did get me because I assumed it was just because he's been gone 5 years,
Yeah.
like they say. But let's see now I have the question. Now, was the Fury that got snapped actually Fury, or was it Talos?
Yeah.
Because if Fury's out the fuck there, wherever the fuck he's at,
oh.
like,
How long has he been out there?
how long has he been out there? Are we supposed
the
to
one
believe
that got snapped was Fury because he had the pager, and she gave that to Fury.
But if Fury's been
I don't
out
think
there
Fury would give
since
that to anyone
Captain
else.
Marvel,
I don't think he would give it to anyone else.
yeah, maybe not.
I think
But-
he would have been caught by now. All the shit that's happened to him. Like,
Yeah.
he's been like shot and shit. And like, surely if they get like shot, they'd like glitch out for a second or something. Like, I don't know. Or bleed a
No,
different blood.
they usually have to die.
Yeah, they have to get all the way to death.
Yeah,
Wow.
they have to just completely die. So even in the Winter Soldier scene, or not, yeah, Winter Soldier scene where Nick gets shot in Cap's apartment.
Yeah.
Like, and then he's dead. Like, he wasn't actually dead. His just heart rate was slowed so slow that they weren't
Right.
detecting it. It's like that still could have theoretically
nitrotoxin?
been. Yeah, that still could have theoretically been Talos.
Right.
But
Theoretically,
I
but
don't
it
know.
wasn't.
yeah, I mean, I hope not.
Yeah.
It
They
wasn't.
did. I think it would have just recently happened. Like, maybe when she was down here for Endgame
Yeah, when
or
she
whatever.
came back.
He's like, all right, all that bad shit happened. I'm going off Earth onto vacation. And he like knew they were shapeshifters. So he's
Yeah, I don't think he's on vacation, but
like,
he was on a break or something.
There's only one arc that redeems the end of this movie for me.
Yeah?
Yeah,
What's that?
it is fuck, what's it called? Where he's been out doing stuff.
Original Sin?
Yeah, Original Sin. So like you find out Nick's been out. Nick's not been on Earth in like forever.
I think it's sort of half that and half something else.
Yeah, probably. I think we'll get an answer for it, I assume, in Captain Marvel 2. But I also think Captain Marvel 2 is supposed to take place before everything else, so I don't know.
again.
I think it might actually be a combination of three things. Original Sin, I don't know where it starts, but the origination of Sword
Mm-hmm.
and Secret Invasion. So when they first revealed themselves to be Skrulls,
Yeah,
we're going there.
let's do it.
Fuck it. When they first revealed themselves to be Skrulls, we're the only ones that saw it. They were in a car by themselves. Nick and Maria turn into Talos and his wife. I don't remember what her name is. But I was like, oh shit, Secret Invasion. Fuck
Yeah.
yes.
Me too.
And then they called Nick and were like, hey, we fucked up. We need you to come back. And I was like, what?
Yep.
But then I started thinking about it, and he's on that ship. So that leads me to think it's Sword. That he's starting Sword, which is okay. Which also kind of falls in line with Original Sin a little bit, him like trying to protect the world from otherworldly threats.
Right.
But then I started thinking about it, and it could still be Secret Invasion, but a different con. Just like them pretending to be, refugees. Like they are actually refugees, but pretending to need help
Right.
to get into infrastructure and stuff, so
And then
that
there's a turn.
they can turn and do Secret Invasion. Only it's secret only in that they're kept secret by the government instead of keeping themselves secret.
Yeah.
So it could still work out, but not in the way that we want at all.
Yeah.
But like, where's Maria? Was she there?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, they didn't show the
I didn't
actual
think
Maria.
so. I was like, well, maybe she was in the background and I didn't notice her.
Yeah. Could have been. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't see her, so I don't quite know.
Yeah.
All right, so let's talk about some other problems we had with this movie, because that was a big one. Apparently, the turn was a big one for you, Russell. I had problems with the turn for another reason, because he used the story that he was from another universe, and he said that this universe was 616.
Yep.
And his was 833.
Yep.
That should actually be a thing, not be a fake thing. So I didn't like him name dropping it. There is a possibility where they can get around it, and that it is actually true, and that he was using kernels of truth or fringe science, aka Selvig's theories, to explain his fake story.
Yeah.
So that it sounded more accurate and plausible.
Right.
But it still kind of rubbed me the wrong way using that as like a fake cover.
Yeah. So
What?
go ahead. Well, mine's gonna be winded.
Oh, okay. Like, one thing I don't get is how, if he worked for Tony Stark, like, wouldn't how easy he got in with Nick Fury, like, raise suspicion? Like, he had to know Nick Fury wasn't that dumb. To, like,
Well, he
believe
says something
that.
about that. He was like,
I
I couldn't
know.
believe that I tricked the most paranoid man on Earth and shit like that.
So he really believed he, like, tricked him?
Yeah. Which
I would
is
be like, that was too
Mysterio's
easy. That's
thing.
weird.
Like that is like his whole thing is like trickery and illusion.
Yeah.
And I liked the way he brought the illusions to life.
Yeah.
Like with the drones being
Yeah, that
hidden
was
in
cool.
them. Because at first I was like, holy shit! Like how is like he doesn't do that?
I thought it was gonna be hard light holograms, like the danger room
Yeah.
and stuff, but they just weren't gonna go that far into
Yeah. It was
tech
just
that doesn't exist.
Yeah, the drones and stuff. But yeah, so the interdimensional stuff. I don't like anyone calling the Marvel Cinematic Universe 616.
Yeah,
it
'cause
doesn't
it's
make
not.
any sense. It has its own. It has its own code.
Yeah.
So it's silly.
Well, maybe that's the part that he got wrong.
Yeah. I mean, I hope.
I don't know.
they believed him regardless. They're like, oh, he's an alien.
Yeah.
Or, you know, like, from a
Interdimensional
dimension.
traveler.
Yeah.
I also think that should have been true instead of him being a proponent of Tony Stark's arrogance. He should have actually been an interdimensional traveler and been like, this was stuff that was true on my world. Let's see how much of it is true here. And then been like, oh, this stuff. And then like, I would have also liked I liked that the elementals were an illusion, kind of.
I did.
But I would have rather have the elementals been real and him actually have a way to fight them, and just that whole story part be real, but then him still being an illusion caster essentially and using illusions in ways of manifesting truths or whatever. So with the two scenes we get where he is like using his illusion powers on Spider-Man. So there's only two scenes in the whole movie where he's like using his illusions on Spider-Man, and I would have much rather have seen like most of the movie be an illusion. So the kids get in the bus, they go to Europe, like all of this trip is just like if the first 30 minutes of the movie would have been an illusion to like get the glasses, as opposed to like, you know, there actually being reality involved. And then he ends up with the glasses, and then like the illusion fades away, and then Peter just knows he's fucked instead of having to put it together.
Yeah.
And then, you know, Jake gets to do a whole maniacal laugh, like, ha 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 ha, I've defeated you, or what, I don't know, some dumb shit. Like, I feel like
I don't think that sounds very good, bud.
I
don't want to watch
think
that movie.
a lot of that would, I mean, I'm not putting it together very well, but
yeah, I had it with like, I wish the monsters were real, and like after that, you really lost me.
All right, let me try again. So
No.
no, I'm just kidding.
Like I was with you.
I wanted
and
more.
then as the further you went, I was like, no, that's too much.
Let me say it like this. I wanted a more intimate story than a world-devastating event, and I would have much preferred Mysterio stay a street-level villain while fucking with Spider-Man trying to become a larger entity
Yeah.
to take over the world
I get
than
that.
what they did.
That would be a completely different movie, though.
I wanted a completely different movie.
Yeah, I see that. Yeah.
So there we go. That's the easiest way to say what I was trying to say.
Okay. I mean, I get you. And I think that's that would probably be more accurate to the character, to be more street level, trying to become upper echelon villain.
Yeah.
As he said, put it like a Avengers level threat.
Yeah.
Trying to become that as opposed to pretending to be the guy that stops that to become that, which was kind of odd, but I get it. I get where you're trying to go with that. So
Yeah, they took Mysterio and turned him into Booster Gold, and I'm not happy about it.
Okay. Yeah. There you go. That's 2 sentences, and you could have.
Yeah, I got there.
Yeah, you got there.
I'm sleepy
Good thing you got to go to work later.
for 12 hours.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I liked the movie, but it definitely did feel kind of weird. I didn't like how it started.
Oh,
with
yeah.
the goofy
I
tribute thing.
fucking hated how it started. So, like, I just repeatedly felt like this movie was, like, slapping me in the face.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like, the beginning feels more like a mockery. And I get it that it's, like, a high school production, so it's, like, gonna be bad.
It's like PowerPoint though, and like all
Yeah.
the effects.
Getty Images.
But, like, you just demolished our hearts in Endgame, and then you're gonna turn around and make fun of us for it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
I really in the same vein though is like a disrespectful thing, but a thing that I liked because somebody who was doing it was trying to be disrespectful was the Iron Man zombie when Mysterio was fucking with Spider-Man.
Yes.
That was fantastic.
I see the illusions,
That
dude.
whole illusion thing was great.
Both of those scenes
were
fucking awesome.
Yeah, were fantastic.
I was just like
I do wish there was more of that.
like every time it changed, I was like, oh fuck, ugh, fuck.
Yeah. Because that stuff was great.
Yeah.
So I was kind of sad that there wasn't more of that. I've covered most of my notes. There was a couple of Easter egg kind of things. There was a comment about moving forward to the new phase.
Yeah.
Which I thought was interesting. And then there was another thing that could be attached to that. Maybe not. Maybe hinting at something else. In the first Easter egg, or not Easter egg, stinger, which we can talk about that too.
Yeah.
But this is kind of an Easter egg within that. Spider-Man goes by where the old Avengers Tower was.
Mm-hmm.
And apparently it doesn't show who is actually moving into the new tower or changing into the renovated tower. But it does have a banner that says something like who's ready for what's next or something like that. And in between each words it has the numbers 1, 2, and 3. And then where the fourth number would hit is a question mark.
Yeah.
So a lot of people on the internet are thinking it's Fantastic Four, but it very easily could be talking about Phase 4.
I would be cool with Reed coming in and buying the old Avengers Tower, and it being the Baxter Building, because then you
make a lot of sense.
Yeah, you'd have this one building in town that has like served all this purpose.
Right.
That would be pretty cool. I would like that. So I mean, the best cameo in this movie, though.
Oh
right?
yeah.
For Stinger, J.K. Simmons.
Fuck yes.
Dude, our theater was way too quiet.
I was clapping.
Well, throughout the whole movie, like
I literally only heard you,
yeah,
Corey.
Like,
So
I didn't
Corey.
hear anyone laugh with us. Like,
Really?
yeah, our theater was not.
I mean, I was sitting next to Ryan, so we were both laughing and shit when we were supposed to be.
Yeah.
But beside me was like a 80-pound girl, and I felt really awkward because it seemed like she was hiding on a third of her seat, like, away from me, and like didn't make any noise the whole movie. So that was weird.
Yeah, that's a little weird. But so when J.K. Simmons popped up, I was just like, I fucking yelled, expecting the whole theater to yell with me, right? And
Yeah.
there was just like 4 people in our row.
Yep. Yeah, I was just clapping. I was just clamping. I was just clapping. I wasn't yelling or anything.
But some of the theories on the internet, like the Fantastic Four one or
Mhm.
J.K. Simmons being in this,
Yeah.
is hopefully is one of the signs. So one of the things I wanted to bring up is Kevin Feige said that he wouldn't be against a live-action Spider-Man multiverse movie
Yes.
with Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire.
And
Now,
Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield are also
yes,
okay with it.
they have both said in interviews that Andrew Garfield was like, yeah, I'd do that. Tobey Maguire was like, I would love to come back
Yeah.
and be Spider-Man.
And you know what should happen? Is from an alternate universe, an actual different guy playing Quentin Beck.
Mm-hmm.
You know who I'm talking about?
Mm-mm.
Bruce Campbell.
Oh, God. Because he looks like old Jake Gyllenhaal.
No, because he was supposed to be Mysterio in the original 3 movies because he was always
That's
there,
true.
but playing a different character
Oh, God.
throughout all 3 movies.
Yes.
What?
But I want Madam Web, damn it.
Yeah, I mean, well, if you do a fucking Spider-Verse movie, you know, go all the way. Do Madam Web or do the what the fuck are the guys that eat the totems called?
I don't remember.
I don't remember. Not Morbius, but the other. God damn it. Hold on, let me look it up. Moreland is what I was trying to think of. Where him and his family attempt to consume the totems. They're psychic vampires. Oh, the inheritors.
Nom, nom,
Okay.
Devourer of totems.
Like, I don't think I know what a totem is.
Like a animal representation of an idea.
Oh. No, it just didn't make sense. Like,
So
you're
spiders.
just like, oh, that sums that up, and it doesn't.
Yeah. Okay. So like the Spider-Men of all the different universes are a totem of good. You know. So like if there's like a different.
like a dove is peace.
Yeah, but they're usually like
Eagles,
anthropomorphic. So they're like part human, part animal.
Oh lordy.
So like think of like the Egyptian gods where they were like people with heads of animals and they were different gods for different things. Those are kind of like totems.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Okay. So like these guys specifically are going after spider totems
Okay.
through different universes because for some reason they hold the universes together.
They are
And
the web
'cause-
that
yeah.
weaves.
Makes
anyway,
sense.
they should go full Spider-Verse and do that
Yeah,
yes,
that'd be
if
cool.
that's what's happening.
That
Now
would
that
be
I
awesome.
understand things.
Yeah. With, so I think Tobey Maguire should come in and play old sad Peter whose life fell apart.
Yeah.
And Andrew Garfield comes
fitting.
in and plays older, pompous, successful
Yeah.
Peter who
Yes.
managed to be Peter Parker and Spider-Man at the same time.
Yeah, and did it all right,
Yeah.
but then he dies.
No,
In the movie.
I can't.
Yeah,
Not
in the
like in the
movie.
first 5 minutes, but like
no,
as
in
a
the
large
movie,
tipping
like
point.
yeah, as
No.
like
I mean,
he
I
sacrifices.
think
himself.
him and Toby both kind of have to die. Like, I would enjoy that because
the old Spider-Man can't come to the phone right now.
What the fuck?
Like literally,
dead.
he's like, well, I'm the only one left. Looks like I win. Like he's the new Spider-Man.
Yeah,
Gotta kill off
so-
the old.
But this also lets them introduce Miles.
Yeah.
So like that's your
Yeah.
four, right? Those are your four main characters.
Mhm.
So you introduce a whole new Spider-Man, bring back the two old Spider-Man,
Yeah.
and have Tom hold them together.
Yep.
And I just think that would be a fantastic move for Marvel and Sony. Like Spider-Man Far From Home already beat Endgame on opening weekend.
Yeah, which is ridiculous.
Wow.
Yeah.
But I'll point out they're counting 5 days,
5 days, yeah.
instead of 3 days.
Yeah.
So that it's 2 whole extra days. One of those days is the 4th of July.
I mean, even still, 2 days.
I mean, it was unexpected.
Like it shouldn't have even been close.
but
Well, I think it should have been close just because it had almost twice as much time to gather that much money. But
Yeah.
nobody expected it to beat it.
yeah.
Because there's just been so many people are kind of burnt out on them.
Yeah. But
That's
if you
in my
really
opinion.
want to topple the box office, you do this movie because everyone's going to want to see that.
Yeah.
Because like everyone who loved Tobey Maguire is going to be like, oh my fucking God,
Yeah.
Tobey's back. Everyone who loved Andrew Garfield is going to be like, oh my God, Andrew
Yeah.
Garfield's back.
Yeah.
And everyone already loves Tom. So, and then you're also introducing Miles.
Right.
Like, make that fucking movie.
Marvel,
it-
Disney, call us.
It could be a good way for Sony to do their own thing and
Yeah.
still let Marvel have the Tom Holland version of Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they could build Miles up in his own universe. Like they all go to Miles' universe,
Yeah.
right? So then he has his own set of the different Spider-Man villains, right?
Right.
And that is where your Venomverse comes in too,
Yep.
with
the other
Tom
Tom.
Hardy. I can't think of anyone's name apparently.
The other Tom.
Eddie Brock. And they can have their own movies with occasional multiversal crossover.
Yeah,
either
and
into
they
the
can-
Marvel universe or from the Marvel universe.
And they can
They
do
can make
the
their
darker
own
side.
movies.
So let Sony have the Marvel Knights rights just to the
Don't
name
give
or
them more
whatever.
rights.
Not
No.
more rights, but just let them put it under the Marvel Knights moniker. And then
I don't
you've
think that
easily
should happen.
separated the MCU, which is more family friendly, from the what you can do. But they're also talking about bringing Wesley Snipes back for an R-rated Blade movie.
Yeah.
Under the MCU. So like what? Like let's do those things. Like
Yeah.
please.
Can we take a minute and talk about Topher Grace standing next to Tom Hardy and then both being Venom?
No, we can't. Because that was
Only
the worst
if-
thing ever.
Only if Tom Hardy's Venom eats his fucking head.
Yeah, like he could.
Like I love Topher Grace. I loved him as Eric. I love him in almost everything he's done since then. Like when he's in
But
something,
not that movie.
when
Those
he's
are
in
just so
something,
bad.
I'm like, fuck yeah, Topher Grace. But like, what, Eddie? No,
Yeah.
get the
Yeah.
fuck. Jason Stackhouse in that fucking YouTube video
Yeah.
was better as Eddie Brock than Topher Grace
That's
was.
not his actual name, but
Well, I don't know his actual name, but he's Jason Stackhouse in True Blood.
I hate Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man movies.
I know.
the first one was good. I don't remember if
hate
I
him.
liked the second one or not. The third one was awful.
Yeah, I like the second two, or the first two.
I really, really, really
Good
loved
Lord.
Andrew Garfield and Emma Stone as Gwen Stacy. That was my favorite thing. Cried when Gwen Stacy died because I was like, well, now there will never be more. And then they just like stopped altogether. But I love Tom the most.
I liked Emma Stone and Andrew Garfield together.
Me too. And then they
It
broke
makes
up.
no fucking sense to me why the fuck she wasn't Mary Jane.
Because those movies were terrible. Move on.
But
I
yeah.
really like Gwen Stacy's storyline, except the end of it.
Right.
but like we've talked about this, her not being a damsel in distress, like she helps
Right.
him. I love Gwen Stacy.
But you have Emma Stone play Mary Jane. You still tell the Gwen Stacy storyline because you bring Gwen Stacy in and have her break them up. So then
She plays both.
she doesn't play both. Someone else
Oh.
plays Gwen. So then Peter is with Gwen, and then that whole thing happens where Gwen dies, and then MJ comes back in the picture because she's always there for Peter no matter what, whether it be as a friend or as a girlfriend. and then you have Emma Stone, who is a long-lasting staple in the series, who's going to bring your box office draw in.
Bleh. I love her as Gwen Stacy. Just don't kill her.
But
Anyway, this movie.
yeah,
There
it's
were
not
a
a
couple.
DQP does if there's no tangents.
Yeah, I know, but I fucking hate that movie. So, there were some issues with the effects, I feel like, and we're gonna come across that a whole lot more at the DVD release. But there were a couple points where Mysterio looked like ass,
Yeah.
or like everything around him looked like, the green screen wasn't quite the right shade of green, kind of thing.
Yeah. I'm not excited to watch those illusions on a 4K TV.
I'm excited to watch the parts where it was like the Spider-Man versus all the illusions,
Yeah.
but not the like elementals, because I feel like there's
Right.
going to be some bad parts there.
Yeah.
I do appreciate one thing though, that the merchandising did not ruin this movie, because all the merchandising, they named the elementals as actual villains. They called the fire elemental Molten Man. They called the water elemental Hydro Man. They didn't have a wind one, so I didn't even know that there was an air elemental.
They called
in
it
the
a
movie.
cyclone with a face.
Oh, yeah. I was upset about that. That Hydro Man and Molten Man were both just...
They weren't in it. That wasn't who they were.
Right. Well, the Hydro Man, they tell the story of him becoming the Hydro Elemental because they use his name and everything in the movie. They're like, this guy and this accident happened. But
they don't say that that's actually what
right,
happened.
they don't say that that's actually... They don't say that the elemental's him, but they use that backstory.
Do they just say it? They
Right.
don't connect it to the thing.
Oh, I thought they were saying that the Hydro...
They were saying it was a rumor.
Oh, it was a rumor.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like,
Well,
I read on
guess
the
I'm okay
internet.
with it, because then that's a nice little Easter egg.
Yeah. It was an Easter egg. It wasn't like somebody with any kind of authority or the news or anything like that. It was a rumor that one of the kids read on the internet.
Yeah.
Probably Flash.
Flash!
Oh, I want to I want to talk about that.
Yeah.
Flash Thompson, I think, in the Spider-Man movies, is one of the few occasions that I've enjoyed them demolishing and reconstructing a character.
Mm-hmm.
Because he's still, and I think it's the kid. I think it's because the kid pulls it off so well.
Yeah, I think he's a good actor.
Yeah.
Unless he's
Because-
actually a rich douche
Yeah, yeah, I mean, he might be. But
with
'cause
parental issues.
because it's not the
jock.
well, it's not the physical bullying, like, but he's still
Yeah, he's a
constantly
mental
bullying.
bully. He's
Yeah,
like a
they probably
Peter.
wanted to bring light to that.
Yeah, which I
That's
think
cool.
I think they
didn't
did
think about
that
it that
well,
way.
and that's something I've complained about, before. Like, Zendaya being MJ, quote unquote, but not really being MJ.
Yeah,
Like, but
we're getting over it.
yeah, I mean, essentially. Well, I mean, I'm over the Zendaya thing because she's not actually Mary Jane Watson. Her full name is something else.
It's Michelle something.
Yeah. So whatever, that's cool. That's a good way. I'm glad that you did that, like, with that character.
Yeah.
I want to talk about her.
Okay. But
When-
with Flash, I really feel like that kid is pulling off what they needed him to pull off.
Yeah.
Because even in the first movie, I was kind of like, I mean, he's not a big jock, like, physical threat.
No, I
but,
felt
like,
the exact same way.
he's still fucking consistently poking at Peter.
Yeah.
And then I love the whole fucking, he's a Spider-Man fanboy.
Yeah.
Yes.
Love that shit.
Yeah.
So I want to see how that affects. This brings me to where I was also going to go. I want to see how the big reveal in the first
Yes.
stinger affects Flash.
Yeah.
Because I don't want him to be like, Spider-Man's a fucking nerd. I want him to be like, Peter, do you need anything?
Yeah.
Like, I want him to
change
seek Peter out.
Change his opinion
Yeah.
about Peter, not about
That'd
Spider-Man.
be so sweet.
And I think that would be fucking great for that character.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also
be
like how Betty and Ned got together, but then we're only together for a minute.
The
Yeah.
trip.
Yeah.
Just
Just
the
for the trip. But I mean, that's an actual comic book relationship.
Right.
So I thought that was cool.
That is cool.
What did you want to say about MJ?
I love her. I love Zendaya.
Yeah.
I love how dark she is.
Yes.
Like, and she's like not gonna be a damsel in distress. I can already feel it
Yeah.
because she's like, "You're fucking Spider-Man."
Yeah.
Like she
'Cause-
already knew. She's smart. Like she's literally like Gwen Stacy named MJ. And I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
I can do this. She's like a nerd. They went on the science trip together.
I think it's funny that
Like-
you're like, Gwen Stacy isn't a damsel in distress,
I
but
mean,
she
she's
totally
not.
had like the damsel in distress death.
Well, yeah, but she like was helping him and fell. She wasn't like,
She,
oh,
like,
this
got-
villain threw me off a roof. She was like,
Well, no, I mean that's how it actually happened
well, she was helping. She wasn't just in the
in
way.
the movie. In the comics, she was actually
Yeah, but-
kidnapped and then thrown off.
I don't care.
Green Goblin was like, "Hey, you can catch me, or you can save your girlfriend," and he threw her off the bridge.
I don't care. All the other times she helped him. MJ just gets in the way,
Okay.
but not Zendaya. She's gonna be
No, I
great.
really like Zendaya. She's great.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you. I think I would also say the Gwen Stacy in the Andrew Garfield Spider-Man movies is characterized completely differently than Gwen Stacy in the comics.
Well, that's the Gwen
But
Stacy I
More like
like.
MJ.
Yeah, yeah. Do what?
It was more like MJ.
MJ in the comics?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then MJ in the
Later.
Tobey
Mhm.
Maguire series is more Gwen Stacy in the comics.
Yeah.
So like it's all fucked.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, we're talking about movies, so
Yeah. So
I don't read comics.
I agree with you. I think Zendaya is only going to keep getting better unless. Are you ready for this?
What? She fucking dies.
Yes.
Of course.
Because they're either going to build her to be one of the Spider Friends and she's going to like get a black cat suit or she's going to like
Ironheart.
do something
Peter can make her a
or
suit.
yeah, she just like starts taking Krav Maga and like becomes a fucking badass out of nowhere or something. They're either going to do something like that or they're going to kill her.
Ironheart. Spider-Man can make her a suit.
or she's new Gwyneth Paltrow. I mean, I don't know. I'm undecided.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
that'd
think
be cool.
I think that actually might be what happens. Where occasionally she does see some danger, but most of the time she's just in the background and sometimes helps.
Yeah.
I think is what's going to happen. Unless they
Yeah.
really do just like go off the deep end and they're like, let's do that damsel scene. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Everybody's like, ah, come on.
I
Yeah.
could also see them not being a damsel scene. Like she's
Helping and just
not
gets
not
smushed.
helping.
No,
She's
not again.
like Peter is beat the shit up out of and she like saves him and dies.
No.
Oh, man.
Ugh.
No.
I gave
Don't do
myself
that.
chills.
Don't do that to Peter. He already lost Tony.
Or he's like beat to shit and like comes home and she's like trying to take care of him and the villain follows him home.
Yeah.
No.
And she
he,
gets
like,
she
can't
like
save
pulls
him.
the web shooter and like tries to fuck with the villain. Oh man.
Oh my god.
Gets-
she fucks him
Gets
up
Peter
though.
out. Gets
Yeah.
Peter out and then the building blows up or something.
Yeah.
Jesus.
She's like, you have heroics to go do. I'm just me.
What?
Oh my
Saves
God.
Peter.
The fuck was that?
I don't know.
That's terrible.
Anyway, I like how like cute and awkward they are, like little high schoolers.
Because they're
You guys
supposed
are
to
going
be.
way too deep.
I'm just waiting for it to get real dark because this was too fucking sunny for me.
Yeah, but they were like friends first, but now that they like realize that they liked each other, they're like weird and it's just cute and they like do it so well.
Yeah.
And like in interviews and stuff, people are like, "Are you dating?" And they're like, "No, we're just friends." And like, I don't think they're dating
Yeah.
either, obviously, but like they have really good weird chemistry.
Yes.
Like weird, awkward high school chemistry.
Right.
Yeah, I also agree that their chemistry is really good.
And so I just really like her. I like how she's like, "Yeah, people were murdered on this bridge." And
Yeah. I like it better broken.
yeah, like she's just so dark and she's always got a little Converse on. And I just think she's so cute. I love her.
All right. Is that everything that everybody wanted to talk about?
Yeah,
And
pretty
so-
much.
All right. Let's do our preliminary ratings then. I'm going to go first. I'm going to give this a 7-8. Because it's not the Spider-Man movie that I wanted. And I feel like Tom like devolved after Endgame.
I agree.
he went through a lot of shit and then just turned into an emotionally immature child again. I understand, and I actually do like the idea where he's like, I just wanted a break. I just wanted to be on vacation. I don't want any of this shit to be happening. Let me go home or let me go back on my vacation. I like that, but I do not like, his awkwardness and like the almost killing people on accident because he's like being a fucking child.
He's like better than that.
Yeah, he's better than that. He was better than that before. He stopped the insta-kill mode when he didn't need it. So I don't like all that stuff. It's like he got younger emotionally somehow, and I don't like it. So that was one of my big things. We already talked about my biggest thing. I don't know. I liked it, but I don't think it was anywhere near as good as the first one. So, Cassie, what did you think?
I'm not even like a comic book nerd because I know Russell had a really big problem because he knows the comics.
Stroked out.
And
Damn
like,
near.
I still give it a 7.
Oh.
And I fucking love Spider-Man. And I love Tom Holland as Spider-Man in every other movie.
Well.
And like, I pretty much agree with what Shane said. Like, it didn't make sense to me that he was like pretty much being a little bitch the whole time.
Yep.
And like when just God, what was it? Infinity War, when he got knighted into being an Avenger.
Yeah.
And he like stood so proud and stuff, and now like you don't want to do it now. Like what?
Yeah.
And like superheroes don't get breaks. That's why Nick Fury's fucking in outer space and has a stand-in.
Right.
Like, get over it.
Right.
And I mean, even Aunt May packed his suit for him. She's like, "Oh my God, how'd you forget this?"
Right.
Because she was like, "Heroes don't take breaks." And like, it made sense why he didn't, because Spider-Man can't be over there. But like, heroes don't take breaks.
Right. Yeah, no,
And,
I
like,
totally agree.
Why would they even be like, well, why is Spider-Man here? Because nobody questions why the Avengers are in New York. They're like,
Right.
shit's happening.
Right.
They're here.
Yep.
So,
how do you get here? Did you swing over? No, he took a fucking Avengers jet. He's an Avenger now.
Exactly.
Or he probably can fly in that new suit that Tony gave him. Who fucking cares?
Yeah. And like the Nick Fury manipulation and fucking Jake Gyllenhaal and like that it wasn't about Spider-Man.
That's a big question
The
that I
drones
actually
were
have.
stupid. Just
Is why wasn't he wearing the Iron Spider suit at any point after the beginning?
Yeah.
literally.
Yeah. Oh, and where was the bank
I
robbery
said, why didn't he
scene?
just take the little Iron Spider? Because it just like
Yeah,
and goes
it's
up him.
nanoparticles.
So I was like, why didn't he?
He wouldn't
just
even get
take
caught.
That
Yeah.
what?
Where was there was a bunch of big scenes that were taken out of the trailer,
Yes.
which that's kind of weird.
They were there for misdirect.
Yeah, they're doing that now often.
Which is
apparently.
okay. Like,
Apparently
I mean,
often.
I don't super hate it.
So yeah, I gave it a 7 because there's just a lot wrong with it. But like, it's still Tom Holland and it was okay. But just 7. I think it's better than halfway, but not really good.
Russell?
I have to give this movie 2 ratings because like my first rating, I'm going to rate it as an overall cohesive movie and how well it was executed. I feel like it was paced well. It was a lot of it didn't really have any timing issues. It was just the plot was. I read something that said the plot was overcomplicated, and I was dumbfounded after watching it by anyone who thought that the plot was overcomplicated, because I actually felt like the plot was executed very well with. And I also don't feel like it's
you just
very
didn't like it.
complicated. Yeah, I just didn't like it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So as a movie overall, I'm going to rate it as a 9. Because I feel like it's entertaining. It's a Spider-Man movie, so it should have some humor to it. And there was quite a bit of humor, even though I do agree that Spider-Man was characterized weird. And he wasn't like witty when he was doing anything. And like, I feel like the only time in the MCU he's been written completely proper
Was his first appearance
in Civil War. Like,
Yep.
that's the most Spider-Man has been since Spider-Man was introduced.
Yep.
And it bothers me because like you set that precedence, but I mean that's a Russo brothers movie, so
He was always
like,
just like incessantly talking like, hey, what's up? I'm Peter Parker. Hey,
Yeah.
oh my gosh, you're Captain America. What's up? I'm Peter Parker.
yeah,
like,
and it was
he's
fucking
just,
awesome.
Like,
And
has
like,
he grown? But then like he's like almost more emotionally immature. Like,
Yeah, he was really good in
I don't
all the
know.
Russo brothers movies, and he was good in the first Spider-Man movie because we kind of like wrote that off as he was like becoming into his own more,
Yeah.
and like the way they wrote him in the Russo movie was to be a first appearance, so he had to be the most Spider-Man,
yeah,
right, to make sense, and
Yep.
not just be like, well, we just brought this guy in because we wanted to. They had to overdo it to make it
Right.
feel good.
Right. But I mean, you could have kept that pacing when he's in the spider suit. Because
Yeah.
my biggest issue with Spider-Man, the Spider-Man movies, has been, I mean, including Tobey Maguire, because like he didn't do it. He did it better than Andrew did. But my biggest issue with Spider-Man is you have two characters that you're writing.
Yeah.
It's like Batman. Like Spider-Man is physically he's not, and like character arc wise he's not, but personality wise, like Spider-Man is Batman.
Right.
Like that's your MCU DC comparison, not
Right.
Tony and Batman. Because Spider-Man when he's in the suit is a completely different person
Yes.
than
Yeah.
when he's Peter Parker.
Yep.
And I really thought that they were going to do that and
Completely
do it well.
compartmentalized.
Yeah, completely. And I thought they were going to do that well in these MCU films. And I mean, honestly, they're botching it. Like, they botched it hard with this one.
Yeah.
And that's, if you go back and you watch 90s animated Spider-Man, like, that is the best thing about that show.
Yep.
Peter is Peter when he's Peter. When he's Spider-Man, he's fucking Spider-Man.
Yeah, and he has the
Yeah.
inner monologue as well as in the comics that he's holding back
Yeah.
when he's Peter because he knows things that he's not supposed to know, and he's like, oh shit, I can't talk about that.
Right.
Or, I could take this guy, but I can't do that because I'm Peter, or, I can't like act threatening to this guy because I'm Peter, I'm not Spider-Man, and like he struggles with it the whole time.
Right.
Which he's just like not even trying. In
Yeah,
these.
he's like, okay, I'm Spider-Man.
Yeah. And so as a movie, it feels like a good movie.
Yeah.
As an MCU film, a comic book movie, as a fan of these things for years, I feel like there was a lot done wrong in this movie.
Yeah.
The other thing that I really, really hate is the whole "who's the next Tony" thing.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like Spider-Man, you're about to
No
create
more.
you are about to create the most powerful character in the MCU, and you cannot take it back. Because because Spider-Man is already absolutely fucking ridiculous.
Yes.
Like, and he gets his he starts working his spidey senses in this, and it's
Yep.
fucking great. And he is already one of the most powerful characters, and then you're about to put him on a technological level that Tony was on.
Yeah.
And you can't come back from that.
No.
Like that, and they did in the movie because he has the Iron Spider suit. But that, and you're not going to replace Tony. Like, and there's no point in even trying. Like Jon Favreau says it.
Right.
Happy says it to him. He's like, you can't be the next
That was
Tony.
a really good. That was a good moment.
It was, and then it's immediately ruined.
Yeah.
By him going in the back and creating a suit
being
and being
Tony.
fucking Tony. Like
Yeah.
he should have put on a shitty fucking cloth suit and went out and beat the fuck out of Mysterio, just bare knuckle brawling.
Yeah.
Like you're gonna like Tom is a great actor, Spider-Man is a great character. He doesn't need to be a leader.
No.
He needs to be an inspiration. And they don't have to both go hand in hand, and I
Right.
think they're gonna have trouble topping everything they've done thus far. They're especially gonna have trouble topping everything they've done thus far if they just keep repeating the same formulas.
Yep.
Which this movie did nothing but lead me to believe that we're gonna see the first 3 phases repeated. And I don't want that.
Yeah.
On top of that, I want to address like a couple of things I read from a ton of articles, which I do believe everyone that ever wrote an article about Spider-Man Far From Home was paid by Disney to write the article.
Mm-hmm.
Because everything I read and everything I saw was this was the movie we needed after Endgame.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because it was like light and funny, and
That's the
Whatever.
only reason, though.
like
Like
Fury
this,
cussed a lot.
yeah. The light and funny, and I get it because we just went through this heavy trauma. But I mean, they're also mocking us, like, and then
Yeah.
they especially like. I mean,
Especially
I
with the beginning.
yeah, especially with the beginning. It's just a mockery of what you just put us through. Like, haha, we gave you feelings, or poke at it and make fun of it.
But it's also like, I don't know.
So
Is there like much time that passed between Endgame and this?
just
No.
a couple months, I think.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think this ties off Endgame in any way, shape, or form, and that
Yeah,
was what
that
we
was
were
the other
promised.
thing that I kept reading.
Well,
Was,
yeah,
is
he's new
tying-
Tony.
this is-
It did.
Cleanly tying off the end of Phase 3.
yeah,
You mean Endgame didn't do that with a funeral? Like at the
Yeah.
end? Like, what the fuck
This-
is going on? This has nothing to do with Phase 3 other than being like, who's going to be the next Tony?
this
Yeah.
felt more like an interlude to MCU films.
Yeah.
Like, hey, we wrapped up all that other stuff. We're not ready to start the other stuff, but we're going to give you something to remember that we're still here and making movies.
Yeah.
So here's Spider-Man Far From Home.
Yep.
So as an MCU movie, I'm actually going to give this a 6.5.
Whew. All right.
Wah.
And
Well-
I'm still pissed about it.
Yeah.
Now, I would
I
also
wanted
say
it to be better.
I did the same thing with Captain Marvel, and I'm excited to watch this again
Yeah.
without expectations.
For sure.
So I can kind of get out of my own head about that, especially that first 40 minutes, which I was just because you only get these movies so often.
Right.
So like, I don't want to watch one feeling like they wasted time
Right.
when they could have been doing great stuff.
Yeah. I didn't feel the same way, but I totally understand why that pissed you off. Because
Yeah.
I would have been, if I had felt the same way, I totally would have been pissed off too.
Right.
I'm like, this is a fucking waste of my time. Why are we doing this?
Yeah.
I don't agree with you, but I understand where you're coming from. Okay.
And I think I'm good.
All right. Well, this has been episode 23 of DQP Does the MCU. I want Spider-Man's head. Russell.
I was still processing the butthurt thing that he said. I was like, is that going to be cut? Or... And then, but I missed my cue.
Yeah. Good job.
I would have much rather. I don't know what's funny.
He was waiting for you to finish.
Oh.
And you're just like, keep going.
What was that? Oh,
Sorry.
no, you're fine. I mean, you're editing.
It's tied around your web shooter.
No. No.
Russell cackled.
Oh my God.
I actually
In the
really like
theater.
that.
Cackled.
This has been a production of the Drafty Quarters Podcast Network.